Here we go for next step in story of Nico the Luke. And now I go and jump to which I see you Tom again. Drink water. I'm sick. Can he walk with a cane and thing? Oh, he can. We're wearing old man and his cane. My cane has explosive powers. Surely it's gonna find me, right? Where am I trying to go to? Hmm. There he is. Hey, Smokey.
What up, man? Yeah, like how's recovery going?
uh, it's going. They have me
Yeah, I
taking
bet it is.
they have me taking some small painkillers every 4 hours.
You're you're a drug addict now.
No, 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 no. They're not high stuff. They're chill things. Whatever you want to call it. What's that? Right? Like
What, like placebos?
no, like not strong painkillers. Like low painkillers, mild painkillers.
So you're a mild addict.
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, how are you holding up?
I'm not sure, honestly. Why we got two dogs?
Yeah, I'd probably have the same mindset too. I ain't gonna lie to you. You've been in a very traumatizing situation, and to be honest, didn't know it even got that aggressive. To be fair.
Yeah. Hmm. How can I say this? Let me see. I don't know, man. I think I finally a good night rest has helped me unjumbled most of what got jumbled in my memories.
All right, explain it.
Oh, how much do you know?
Uh, you basically got they I guess you withheld information for like 2 days, and then I guess you told them,
Yeah.
and then I guess well apparently Piper was like really pissed off about them, well, you guys doing what you did to Sandy.
That was Caden's call.
It's okay. So you kind of like understand how this all came about.
uh, like which part? It's a lot has happened.
I'm talking about the whole Jesus Christ, you know, the whole thing.
I mean everything's because of Sandy's relationship with a cop for the most part. That's a catalyst.
Nah, let's go back further.
Well, real quick before we get to that, you want to see some magic tech I have?
What?
I have a I have a walking stick and I can fire a fireball.
I, does it make you aim straighter, or
I think so.
that might get changed eventually? Don't let anyone see that.
uh, how far back?
Oh, we're talking way back. Like, let's just get to the part where
Like start
you
of
tell
Sandy's hang
Piper
around.
about this. Yeah, there we go. Let's start there. So I want to show you how you ever heard of a trickle effect?
Um, like a butterfly effect.
No. A trickle effect. A butterfly effect is a completely different thing.
Okay.
So let's start from that point, right? Remember when Piper originally said that she didn't feel something felt off about Zandy? I have nothing against
Right.
Zandy at all. You know how she stuck by it and never changed, and you kind of push the tempo of Zandy getting pushed to a hang around
I
because
mean,
you really wanted her to. I'm literally gonna show you how all of this came about, like from the top to the bottom.
I mean, a lot of it wasn't
There's so
necessarily
many people
just me
involved.
involved in this. Yeah.
No. There's multiple people involved.
Yeah.
This is just comes from me solely listening and watching and observing.
I mean, I feel
It's
like
not
that.
hard to do that.
I feel like that should give a perspective that everybody was in the same mindset that this was gonna be like a good person to have around. Great skill set that was gonna get brought into the group.
Yeah, prior, yeah,
Right.
but I'm pretty positive. I know I'm pretty positive that Zandy definitely knew we did not have any real good relationships with cops at all. But at the same time, no one ever expected it to happen. So I'm gonna tell you how this all worked out. This is when you were in the ICU. Or no, this is after you got beat up and you were laying on the ground and they had a whole nother conversation apparently. So she always felt some type of way, right? And with that also being said, a lot of people that were involved, except for me, because I wanted her to actually earn her respects, everyone else wanted to give her an opportunity. Alex did, Caden did, Jimmy did, Dante. Dante definitely said Dante was all against Piper. Jinx, I'm not really sure. I don't know about the others either, but we're talking about the main people that are around. They all wanted to give her an opportunity. They were with you actually, as they thought that Zandy was being treated unfairly. Which, in a
She
case,
was.
it's true. It was true. She has about 3 weeks of hell. I ain't gonna lie to it. So I know you also know about how one particular situation could have definitely been prevented, and Caden insisted on doing it anyway. Correct?
To meet up at the Vinewood sign.
Absolutely. No, not that one. Oh, well, yeah. No, yeah. It was the radio tower. Yeah.
Right.
And I told you after you got off the phone with Caden, I called Caden one more time and said, do you know that she's up here? He said, yes. And you still want to come up here? Yeah, I don't see why not. That was like the start. Well, that was the second red flag. And then we go into the other debauchery of Caden putting down his mask 2 times, right?
Which I did tell you that that was Caden's idea to meet up in person, right?
I know. I know. I tried to stop it before it even happened.
Cause all I
I feel
told him
like
is like, I got some info for you. You know, let's have a meet. Let's talk about it. And then he was like, all right, what do you want to meet? Something along those lines.
and after you hung up the phone, I ran away and I called him again because I was like, if he didn't tell her that Zandy was up here, shit is about to hit the fan because that was the point where Piper still did not like her at all. And then that came to a massive, massive disarray in the whole family or whatever. Big fight, big arguments, people defied her. Not to mention, Alex did this shit like a day prior in the house when Zandy was in the house and tried to make her hang around forcefully, completely against Piper's, better judgment and will. Now, that's like adding fire on top of gas, you know. But the real kicker was obviously when Caden, did what he did, then got stabbed, and everyone went against him. But you know what? They gave her an opportunity. I sat behind the truck the whole time. I was not trying to be involved in none of that because I knew how it was going to happen. It happened exactly how I expected it to. It was absolute chaos for no reason, all because I don't know what's going through Caden's mind. Now we come to present day when she's already in. Things have been said. She's seen certain things. She's been around the group for a long time. Everybody, everybody's just starting to grow on her and everything. Then this cliffhanger comes out of thin air about the cop that she was talking to. Now I know for a fact that everyone said that they do not associate themselves with cops. I know for a fact she was even probably in some of those conversations, but he insisted on continuing to do it, even though she knew probably this wasn't a good idea. Even no matter how many times she thinks about it, how many times
The
maybe I
I
should have
mean,
walked away, but she
the
did it
second I
anyway.
find out, right? Uh, she's the second I find out about it, and I've spoke with her about it, and I spoke with her about it multiple days, multiple times. You know, I made it very clear that she had two choices. She could either choose the cop, and there was gonna be a lot of things that would happen with it, or she could leave that cop, cut ties, and choose GT. We all see her choice. So.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna just be honest with you. I don't. I mean, as far as her being part of us, and it's just me in my opinion, because I was never in the scrap of kind of getting her streamlined in here. It takes a lot to be able to do the shit that we do anyway. But I don't think she was really gonna last. I'll be completely honest. You can be friendly with people, you can be nice to people, you can do a lot of things for people, but you can tell when someone doesn't mesh very well with a group. Again, it's my opinion. And I don't think she was going to be ready for that. I think she was still traumatized after the shit you guys did to Glitch and Claire. I'll be honest with you. That's rough. Everybody can't just go up and murder two people in cold blood. With a valid reason, it's still killing somebody. But you see how everything kind of came crashing down really, really fast. And then when Piper came back after you guys did that, she absolutely destroyed everyone. Apparently, she went at Caden, she went at Dante, she went at Jimmy, she went at Alex especially because he was kind of he was a shit stirrer in this situation because he kind of did some out of pocket shit to get Zandy as hang around. But she definitely, you got to think about it right, like at this right now. If she didn't have a nice thing to say or had a very unsettling feeling about her, and you went against it on it, and then now this happened, and you guys tried to clean it up to make it seem like you guys were doing something correct. Yeah, that probably wasn't the best idea. I ain't gonna hold you, because you want to know, you don't know what you got now. You have a completely unhinged person that is probably gonna dig you into the ground with a knife and twist it. And that's not just you, that's everybody. She's nice now, but she's not gonna forget what you guys, put her through. That's it's not fun, especially not gonna be good for you because she's got you on bitch duty. Not to mention you've been knocked down to a hang around again. Now you know how much fun that shit is. So, where's your mind at right now? Because it don't seem like it's going to be in the right place. And I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of people think you're just going to get up and leave. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't know where your mind's at. I don't know what you're thinking. But if that's the mindset that you're going to have, that's not going to be a great look in the future. So you tell me where your mind's at. I have no mask on. This is just a man with his own opinion.
I was under the impression from last night that I was already brought it out.
Oh
From
God, no! No, you just
well,
hang around.
so here's the information I had, right. I woke up at the ICU. Called Jinx. No response. She was the only one that had called me. Uh, at the time, uh, at the time I had just still don't. It's the only part that I still haven't fully grasped in my mind yet. My memories of Sandy were still in a jumble mess. If not to say completely blocked off. That's the only other person that had messaged my phone, which after responding to that message, that's where I got picked up by her, and then had I think it was a long ass conversation of like 2 hours or so.
What, you talked to Zandy? But no way. Where was her? Well, hold on. How did that go? Because weren't you the guy that pulled the trigger on her?
I believe so.
How'd that conversation even go?
Uh, Give me just the benefit of the doubt because I'm bad at memory things,
You
specific
fucked
things,
up. I can
right?
clearly see that.
But from where more or less, like I can recall like the general like consensus of what was said, not necessarily like specific sentences, but it was more of a very apologetic that it ended up like this, and relief that I made it out of the ICU alive.
Wait, say that last part again.
Relief that I made it out of the ICU alive.
Well, you almost died. I knew you were in the ICU, but I didn't know you were on your deathbed at the same time. These are things that I don't know. They just said that you're in the ICU. She didn't. They never said that you got beaten to a pulp. I can see all the fucking black mark You look like you've been beaten like a banana that's been beaten on with a fucking hammer. Yeah, they didn't tell me you got beat up like that. They said they broke your nose. So of course they're not going to tell me everything, but
Look at this.
ew,
How do you think like that surgery went? Freaking got
it's not even
multiple
straight.
broken
It's all over
ribs,
the place.
got an amputated toe. My had to get surgery on my jaw to get it realigned and attached properly. I had to pop my nose back into place. I'm lucky I still got my eyes. Thank God she
So
missed.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Did you try like before this happened and you knew she was dating a cop? Did you try to fix it and then you told Alex, or did you just try to fix it and then there was no compromise and then you told Alex?
That's why I didn't say anything from the beginning because I found out back in Thursday or Friday. I'm not sure, and that's where I had multiple conversations with Sandy whenever I had the time. You know, just free with her, um, just to drill into her head of what was going on and how her choices is gonna affect everybody, especially me.
Yeah, you definitely got
and
affected with that crooked ass surgery stitches.
they use pink stitches, man.
It's fucked up, man. It's not even doesn't even look professional.
I know. Dr. Roxy did a fair enough job of what could be done.
So that's probably honestly that's probably why she tried to call me before this all happened. It's probably trying to tell me that shit. I don't know. People for some reason just don't want to call me a second time. They just think I'm just gonna, you know, call back immediately. And I usually don't because I'm not normally involved in a lot of things. It's just
Yeah.
like super important. I wonder why she didn't call me again. I don't know. Well, I guess in that sense, it was kind of too late to be honest, because I think you had already told Alex by the time I even saw the phone call that she even called me. She said howdy howdy in a text message that she called.
Yeah. Yeah, because basically, you know, after like 2 3 days, I even kidnapped this cop and tried to put some pressure on him to distance himself, but that didn't work too much either.
You kidnapped the fucking guy?
Yeah,
How in the holy hell did you pull that off?
he was off duty. They basically this is Friday night, I think.
Okay.
Uh, after after storm, I wanna say. Um, maybe Thursday night. I'm not sure. Maybe Thursday night. Basically, yeah. After storm, they were off duty. Forget what me and Sandy were doing. I think still talking about it. Um, and then I finally got dropped off at the apartment, and then he was there waiting for her. They go right together. Um, I followed them because well, I didn't follow them. I knew they were going to the hospital because me and Sandy got into a little fist fight, and
Well, I mean, you ain't together, so it's still that's still domestic violence. But
it was. I mean, it wasn't like a
you put
fist
your
fight to
hands on
kill,
a
right?
woman.
No, I put my
It's
cock on
still
a woman.
you what?
Yeah, my rubber cock. Chicken.
Hey, that's
A
still
rubber chicken.
domestic violence.
Well, that's beside the point, right,
It's
Janice?
a very
Basically,
powerful cock. You know what I'm saying?
look, basically, she was like about to pass out, so they went to the hospital. I knew they were there, so I went down after they left. I grabbed a car, saw the car. Uh, uh, I think I was still wearing the same outfit, and kind of couldn't really do anything because there was too many people there. Just waited. They left. I went down to the clothing store by Rockford, changed onto the GT cut, jacket, and somehow magically found them at Burger Shop. Apparently, Sandy was getting a job there, and he was just waiting in the car outside. So I just
Well,
pulled up
that
behind
sucks. I
them.
can't go to Burger Shot no more.
I pulled up behind him and just kind of hopped out, like started talking to him, and he was like, "Hey, blah blah. I need directions to our dentist. You know what that's at?" And then just kind of hopped in his car, put my gun in, went to drive.
What the conversation? How'd that go? You said it didn't work.
Uh, uh, he just seemed very cocky. Um, I guess.
Really?
Yeah, just like he even mentioned that he's good with all bunch of different gangs, friendly with them. He's. I was like, you know what's gonna happen to her, right? And you know what's gonna happen to you. You go out, you keep going with this. He's like, yeah, I've been shot many times. I've dealt with it. I can take it. On those lines. To that, I say, all it takes is one bullet. You know, one bad doctor, one misplaced hand from Nancy, and you're gone. So,
Yeah, ain't wrong about that. Unfortunately, that's not a GT issue. So
yeah. And yeah, I think later on from Sandy or next day, I heard that he he tried or was like threatening to push a raid warrant and a warrant for myself. How does that make sense? I have no idea because
so,
I don't know how you can
that's
push a
so
raid out
fucking
of taking
stupid.
somebody as hostage, but sure.
Well,
But I don't know how that went. I guess she just talked him out of it.
that'd been fucking stupid because she lives in the same place.
Yep.
She
Everything
just
there is
got
just as
caught up
much as
with
mine as
him.
it is hers. So,
Yeah, dumbass.
yep.
Throw the. Oh my gosh,
Too bad they
what a
didn't
fucking
do it though.
weirdo.
Because if he had done it, that would have given Sandy just the easy way out to cut the relationship and probably wouldn't be here right now.
So, do you guys not talk anymore? Like, what's going on with it? You guys separated as friends? Like, what's going on with the house? You guys ain't living in the house no more?
uh, I'm not super sure too much. Uh, I'm not cutting her out of the house. That's as much as hers as it is mine, right?
I don't think I
We
would
both.
go anywhere near that place. This is my opinion, though. But you also can't get another place. Not right now. I mean, you probably could.
I mean, I like to keep my promises, and I've had promised her from the get go when we got the house that no matter what happened with GT, that wouldn't change that. Um, or my stance on that house and hers. You want a shot, Smokey? Here you go.
So, so wait, like, so you got to, you still haven't explained to me yet.
Which
What are you
part?
gonna do? Are you, are you gonna, are you staying, or are you gonna try to do your own thing? Because I have a counter for each one, each answer you say.
Um, I'm not too sure. I know that Piper's gonna wanna order me to cut ties with Sandy and remove her from the house, the apartment.
Can you even
And
do that? You guys
I
both
don't.
bought it.
I mean, it's under my name. I have technically, in paper, I have full ownership of it.
I feel like Sandy might do something dramatic, but that's could be me. I don't
Apparently,
know.
apparently somehow, so Jinx had access to the doors, just keys to the doors, right?
Right.
Somehow, even though she only had access to go inside and just the doors, because she couldn't see like look into anything in there. Um, After I went to the ICU, they ordered her. I'd imagine, 'cause that's the only explanation for it, to lock Sandy out of the house.
How the hell did Jinx do that?
I have no idea. Because
I
I
think
sure as
this.
heck didn't do it. I was in ICU. The only other person that had access to the tablet was Jinx, unless Sandy did it herself. But I don't think you can edit your own permissions.
Yeah, it's kind of fucking weird, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Jinx shouldn't be able to have that type of power. That's all
when I
I'm
came out
saying
of
about that.
ICU, Sandy was under the impression that I had basically kicked her out from the house because she lost all the access to it.
Oh, that was definitely Jinx.
Yeah.
100%. You definitely got the clear Samir on that one. But, what? Still, like, are
So
you
yeah. So if
like are you still
going back around the
friends
right to it,
or
uh,
is
again, I mean,
the bridges burn?
I don't think from yesterday, talking and stuff, um, I don't think she sees the bridge being burned with me. Uh, I I barely. I'm still trying to piece that part of my memories together. Anything related to her.
Yeah,
So I'm still
you
not super
guys were
sure.
homies before all this even occurred. So
That is what she keeps saying. Keeps calling me her brother. So,
Juan,
huh?
is it Juan?
What?
I thought Juan was her brother.
No, one just keeps at arm's length most of the time.
Ah, okay. He also called me too. He was wondering
One's
why you're in the ICU. I was
Look.
like,
If I have a best friend in this city, that is one.
Juan's my homie. I actually like Juan,
I've known
but
that
he's
motherfucker longer than I've known anybody in this city. Honestly.
and he doesn't want to make sure you're all right. It wasn't like no one went after you when you went to IC. He was like, nah, it was. I don't know the whole story, but it was gang things, and he's like, oh, okay, that's fine. That's like the last I heard of him.
Yeah. I don't think he'll be around for a week or two now. Taking a vacation.
Damn.
Yeah. He does have all the best timing in the world usually. Um, but circling back
Man,
around to it, right? Um, I know Piper's gonna have wanna order me to do that, and I don't think that's something I'll be able to do. So if that does happen, then
I mean, you can always live back in your apartment if you want, but all your belongings, bring them there. you don't want to continue it, but you'd be there. And if she brings your boyfriend there, then I don't think that would really work out in your favor either. So that'd be pretty fucked up. You'd be paying for them to live there. Yeah, actually, I think about that. That's really fucked up. Is she even with the guy still?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, you might want to figure that out. You don't want the whole. Yeah, you kind of your back's against the wall here because if you technically move all your shit back to your apartment, you'd be paying for someone to live in your house. But if you leave it out, I feel like she might try to shoot you, but I don't know.
I
I
don't
know.
think so. She didn't give me that impression yesterday.
Well, she didn't, but you don't know who's talking in her ear either at the same time. So,
Right.
and also, if a cop gets another gang involved over a bitch, I'm just being completely fair here. That is some really weirdo shit. You're white knighting for a woman. That is very awkward and really should not even involve a gang to begin with. But people have very stupid mindsets when it comes to things like that. I'm just trying to see where your head's at, man. I mean, I don't want to see you go because I feel like you have some real learning to be had with all of this coming down on you.
Yeah.
But if you go, I don't. I genuinely don't think it would be the greatest look for you right now because technically you kind of got yourself involved in this by pushing the tempo for her to come here. And that is one thing that everyone, including Piper, will never forget. So now they're probably going to be even more cautious about bringing people on and recruiting.
I mean, I gave up on bringing any more hang-arounds. Just again, we had that big dilemma with Sandy from the get-go. So
Trickle effect, man, it's crazy how that all works out. But
yeah.
you got to realize I was there too. I watched the whole thing. I watched it from beginning to complete collapse when they called me about it. And they said that you shot Sandy and stabbed her, and she rolled off of a cliff on an island in the back end of Polito. This is what a trickle effect is. All of this has occurred into present day, and you end up hurting someone that is very close to you. Well, Grace, I don't know how the fuck they even found her off of that cliff, but
I'm surprised the doctors were. I'm surprised the doctors were, uh, more experienced than me with it, because Richie just walked out of the hospital right after it.
I don't know. Fuck.
But I think Nancy only realized that she got stabbed. Didn't Nancy didn't realize that she got shot multiple times.
She's gonna remember that, right?
Yeah.
The whole experience. People will never forget about what happened on that day. But
Trust me, I know.
guess you. I mean, I don't mean to be that person, but I think this may have actually had to have happened so you could learn from this. This should be a building block for you to change your life. I'm not saying don't have friends and don't, bring them around, but it's more of just perspective of being smart with the people who you involve with these type of things that we do. Because had I had known that, I probably would have talked for a little bit, but the only time I've ever associated myself with a cop was when I was taking money from them or the department. Me being intimate or attracted to a police officer, it's so far and few in between. Probably would never happen.
Yeah. I mean, you do know I used to be a park ranger, right?
Yeah. You're also trying to change your entire life to become a complete pure criminal too.
Well, it's different because I wasn't a park ranger first. I was a criminal first. Just that was the way the waves moved, at that time.
But didn't you also do illegal shit while being a park ranger?
Oh, it's colorable as frick.
So were you really a park ranger, or were you just a criminal that had ways of getting a lot of shit?
I think I was a very fair and honest park ranger and gave people, the opportunity to uh not just get screwed over completely. And whenever I had an opportunity to benefit, you know, myself or other people around me, I took that.
I think you may need to learn from this. You may need to take a few days off, man. Because, I mean, regardless of the fact, you know what's going to happen as soon as you go back to Piper.
Yep.
People are going to think differently. People are going to look at you differently. But at the same time, they're also being looked at differently. They're also being thought about. Not like everybody was in the clear. Well, I think I was. I'll be honest. I think I actually was. Besides me, Kai, and Jester were the only ones that were in the clear this whole thing.
I mean, you were holed up in a motel the entire time.
I was thrown into this in the beginning because they told me about it, and it makes me really sad because I technically did give her a lot of opportunities and potentials to earn her respect. Hell, I even had a whole hour-long conversation with her to see where her mind is at if she actually really wanted to do that. And to be fair, I didn't really see it. I think she was just trying too hard to prove a point. She was timid in some places. She wasn't really prepared for a lot of things. I don't think she was really prepared. I don't think she was afraid of Piper. But I think she tried too hard to try to impress Piper, even though her back was against the wall. And at the end of the day, I don't think Piper was going to like her regardless. It's just my personal opinion. It's not even a
Yeah.
female thing. You can look in Zandy's eyes and you can tell like this isn't this is not her life. This is not what she wants to do. She just
No,
wants
if I
to
had to
rob
take a
bank.
guess, she just wants be part of a community of people that do things.
Yeah, that not a family.
Yeah.
There's two different types of actually there's three different types of family. She wanted to be in a community. We are not a community, not a company. No, we're not even a refugee camp. It is an organization, organized crime, with a very unstable and unhinged leader that is slowly attempting to learn how to become a leader. Known her for years, man. She's not a complete leader. Not even in the slightest. Not to mention she has a really bad mental problems. Memory problems, not mental. A little bit of mental.
Eh, Habergerber, you know.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be her downfall. She doesn't
Yeah.
want to completely focus in on a lot of things, but I don't
I
know.
think
This one,
I don't know. My I don't know if I'm what I'm looking for, honestly.
how so? Explain it.
I think more recently than anything, I've realized that I think this whole like Sandy situation, right, just has painted me or given me like a different outlook, right, on GT as a whole and how I see myself in it. Cause
So you do have thoughts about leaving.
I'm gonna tell you a little story of a young boy, you know, way back
Okay.
when.
All right.
You know, this boy, he was part of a you know blood related family, you know, good family, a big family, and this family they all live together, they all did stuff together. Very, very, very tight knit family, right? You know, all families have their issues, their down, you know, their downs and their ups, right?
Uh huh.
But you know, nobody's perfect, right? And this family, you know, it was the closest he can be to perfect for this young boy way back when. But fate has a way with these machinations that that family wasn't wasn't meant to be for too long, you know. Eventually they got separated. Most of them, not to say all of them, um, moved on to different areas, better places. And this young boy, he he was left all alone, right? No longer having all of his family around him anymore. Staring out into the window as everybody left him behind. Fate, you know, Fate has things it's a way with his Fate's mischievous sometimes with his ways, and eventually this boy he grew up, became older, ended up aligning himself with some other people. These people filled that hole that he had left. and became a family for him. They got into all sorts of stuff. You know, they were bank busters, robbers, criminals. They did everything, right? It was a good family. It wasn't as good as the original family he had, but it was still a good family for what it was. I almost filled that hole for him. But I think this boy that had grown up must have been cursed because fate had other plans for him. So that family, like the first one he had, really just wasn't meant to be at the end of the day. They lost their glue that held them together, and everybody split and went about their ways, never to be seen again. And that young man definitely had a bigger hole left at that point.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell it to you like this, man. Everything wasn't all peachy keen for your old boy Smokey. You don't know how I started out in my life? I was a fucking chicken farmer. Fresh day one. Uh, didn't really have a, mindset of what I wanted to do. Didn't know where I wanted to go. Didn't even have any friends, man. I was fresh. I went out there and just tried to become the best chicken farmer I could because no one else was doing it. It's like 11 to 14 hours a day, just catching chickens, going up to the processing plant, processing them up. And over time, in the coming months, I started getting noticed. A lot of people wanted to know, like, how did I make so much money being, a chicken farmer? Didn't think you could be successful being a chicken farmer. Hell, I didn't know I could be successful being a chicken farmer until I looked at my account. So I started producing chickens for people. People needed chickens. I got it to them. I charged a fee, got that chicken to them, and they went and sold it, and they made their money. There was no production back then. There was no ways of getting that produce to businesses to make even more money, and there was none of that. It was just people just needed chickens to make money. All to the point where I was known as Chicken Man. Always wore overall, had a dirty shirt, had a busted ass truck. Even though I had way more money than I ever needed in my entire life, because at that point, like back then, you didn't really need much. And I went to the car dealership because I wanted to get a car. I wanted to get a new truck. And I met one of my now, you know, former outed members of Mafia, which was the first person I ever met, which was Tony Clemente. He saw me in there and was wondering, like, how did I, get up all this money, and And because the first truck I wanted was, I think it was a 2013 Dodge Ram, and it was just to have a truck that had more space in it, so I can get more chicken. And he was like, what's the process? Like, how did you manage to get this type of money in a short amount of time? And he's like, well, I wouldn't say short. It was probably like 2 or 3 weeks, but about 11 to 15 hours a day gathering chicken. That's a lot of hours. That's a lot of time that has been pushed to the side and stuff like that. And this guy talked to me for a little bit. We made a little bit of conversation. He's like, how do you feel like talking to people? And he's like, well, I'm probably not the best person in the world. At the time, I probably didn't talk to a lot of people. And he's like, you think you can sell a car? I was like, yeah, I think so. He gave my first job. That was my first legitimate job, was selling cars. I was with him for 3 or 4 months, and then I met another person that had completely treated me like shit the first time I was in the city. His name was Odin Trahan. He was one of the owners of a mechanical shop down in, where Benny's used to be at. He completely ignored me and walked past me like I was a complete nobody. So, what do you think I did? As soon as he introduced me to him, I said, what's up? And I walked right past him to go back and talk to him again, not knowing that this guy was a complete second hand for the Vercetti Mafia. But how we ended up being very best friends, I gave him the same treatment that he gave me. You want to treat me like dirt? I would treat you like dirt. I had money. I had a lot of money. He saw the truck I had. He saw the cars that he had. And he was like, oh shit, this guy might be something serious. And then it all trickled down to real estate. That's where I met my Don. My Don was Victor. What's his last name? I think it's Victor Portrino. He was the one that got me my first house. It was a small ass house. It was a very small house, and I got everything that I needed. I thought I was good. And, I didn't really need much of anything anymore. And me at the our department, he's always wearing the same suit all the time, same 4-piece setup every time. He's like, instead of making chickens and shit like that, processing them and taking a fee from it, how much you like a different opportunity, like a better opportunity? Why not? And that was the first time I got blooded into a family, true family, real family, very loving and trustworthy family, a family that would not treat you indifferent from skin color to deformities to anything like that. Not to mention, I think that was the only African American that was in an Italian family, which is very, very rare. That does not happen very often. So I must have been doing a lot of good shit for that to go down. And when I became a part of them, they were in a war. It was with ESB, believe it or not. You don't know what we did? You don't know why the war started?
Why?
This started because we bought out the entirety of Grove Street and left them to only 2 homes. You know how powerful a crew is to buy out multiple houses so another gang can't live there? We never lived there. We never parked a car there. They were just talking crazy for no reason. We made a statement. We took it personal. We were in a war for think 2 weeks, and they conceded. And I was like the sole reason of one of those situations because I kind of did one of the nastiest flanks of all time, and got around on them in a situation where they were actually blooding in somebody, and their whole crew was there. Went behind the fence. It was nighttime. Tossed a grenade right in the middle of it. Blew them up. Drove off into the sunset and met back up again. After that, that's when I got blooded in. It's not a stabbing either. It's more like a stabbing on the, a slice of the hand. That blood is our blood. We are here together. This family does not break. This family does not fold. If we figure out if we have any problems or issues, it has come to us together and we fix it as a family. And that whole scenario never left me as a person ever again. I grew up. I got old. And at the time, we were going to new places and different things were happening and we had to adapt to it, and we got into bigger situations. So there was a time where I was hated by the entire city just because I was wearing white. And we made a statement to everybody. And it's not like I want to be a bad person, but you had to earn your respects in certain places, man. But after a while, like maybe 2 years, I was never blooded out, but we all went our separate ways. People went in different directions, and I have not seen them for over 11 years. I think I may have seen Tony one time, said hello, but that was like the last time I ever saw. Everybody else, they're gone. Not dead, maybe just died of old age. That's a family. That family taught me so much, and is the reason why I am the person that I am today. Even after being with another crew, and with the original Golden Tiger, that was absolute chaos. If you thought Piper is a bad person, you wouldn't last 2 hours with Yukiko. Yukiko was probably one of the most criminally incised, cryptic, emotionally and mentally unstable person that would rather shoot someone first than ask any questions at all, and then sit and wait for the repercussions. And then we would have to go finish those problems. And it wasn't like it was one day. It went on for a year. Absolutely dreadful, traumatizing situation. With my wife there, too. Wife that I was married to. She had to watch everything. And even when I went to my other family, which was the pipeline after, she got murdered. The thing about it is, and this is the difference between me and Piper and Caden, is my wife doesn't know anything that I do. Oh, I have this mask on, I had a suit on, I had everything on, but she never knew what I was doing. I don't involve relationships and gang stuff. I've never been the person to do it, but that's Piper and Caden's business. I don't really get too involved with none of that shit. Anyway, at the end of the day, I've been through what you've gone through times 10. I don't think you actually realize in a span of 10 years how many of my friends I've had to murder. How many wives I had to put down for my Don, for my gang leader. how many right hands I had to murder. I'm a very calm and collected person, but man, I'm a murderer, man. I think I've killed more people than people have sold cars, just because of situations to where people have brought people into these things thinking that they are prepared and they are ready for them, given this a friend or a prospect, and they say that they're ready to do these things. And the main thing that really got to me is when I asked Sandy, I was like, you do realize once this opportunity comes up and you get the opportunity to be blooded in, you realize what that is, right? And she was like, yeah. Are you sure? He said, yeah, again. When you get stabbed and you are blooded in, there is no getting out unless you force yourself out, which you will be murdered and you can't remember none of this shit ever again. And she said that she completely understood, but she hesitated a little bit. When people hesitate on a situation of that stature, that just means that at the end of the day, even if she did come up to that, I don't think she ever would have really made it to that point because that's a very traumatizing situation. It doesn't matter if it's an organization or a gang. When you get blooded in, that's for life, man. It's not temporary. Friends or not. I've had to kill other people's best friends because of this same situation. I don't think people realize like how much learning I actually had to do. Mental training, psychiatric help with no therapy at all to be this person that I am today. And this is why I help so many people become a better person. And I don't want people to do what I used to do. I was a very cold hearted person. The fact that I have a wife is very, very, very rare. But at the same time, even though you've gone through a lot in these last few months, everything that's all trickled down, this trickle effect that has happened to you, you've seen what the consequences of doing these things when your friends are involved. And you've had to go through an also traumatizing situation with pulling out a gun and aiming it at your friend, close friend. As you had to do the same with Zandy whipping out a gun and pulling it on Glitch and Claire. These things aren't just normal things that happen. These are very, very dangerous and traumatizing things that could hurt people internally and mentally, man. Now I can help you get past this. I don't mind helping out my people, but like I said, I think you should give us some time before you make a decision. But I'll say it like this: if you leave, they're probably gonna be on you like white on rice if they see you out in public. And I don't think you want to deal with that. I don't even want to deal with it. I don't even want to have a war because of it either. I think you're a bright person. I think you have a lot of potential to become a very, very, very passionate and very well-ended person for this group. You're going to go through a lot of traumatizing things, man. Going to be some good days, going to be some bad days. But this whole entire series was a learning event. And if you leave or back out or want to be blooded out, I just don't think that your opportunity that you originally had was really worth all of it, even after not becoming a park ranger. Criminal life was never an easy one. You know, the decisions that are behind it. And at the end of the day, it's going to be your decision, not mine. All I can do is give you advice to better yourself as a person and a man. And I feel like leaving would be clearly the easy way out, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's not wrong.
But what do I know, right? I'm just a regular old guy, you know?
Yeah, I think my current dilemma that I have, so I don't see a way to keep. I don't see a way I can follow Piper as a gang leader at the moment.
Me neither.
Too many things have happened, and in in my definition of a family, I don't think those things would happen if it was truly a family.
You ain't wrong about that. You know, remember when I said that she's learning still? Yeah, I don't think she's really learned much. But, you know, I've been in this same similar situation with Yukiko, and it's either going to get better or it's going to crash and burn. I'm just waiting to see if it crashes and burns. But we don't
Did you
know.
know last weekend I come around, second I show my face, everybody that I saw, the first their their hello to me was punching me in the face. Afterwards, I passed out uh from the pain from the driveway, and then Hyper and Kanan ran me over twice with the car, left me there for 5 minutes or so until they came back, and then finally got taken to the hospital.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I heard about it,
That
and I definitely knew you were still outside. But I'm like, what the fuck are you guys? I even said I was there. I even said, what the fuck are you guys doing? And she sat down and then just sat there. I'm just like, what the fuck are you guys on, bro?
to me doesn't seem like family.
No, there's a lot of stuff in here that doesn't seem like family. I think people are just here for the business aspect of it.
And that's where I don't know if I can fit in on that aspect.
Oh, why do you think I was just growing? Why do you think I accepted growing, man? You know how quiet it is up there. You know how
Must be
peaceful it
peaceful.
is. Absolutely. That's why I did it for 4 years with cocaine. It was peaceful. I didn't have to have anyone looking on my shoulder. That family was completely different from this family by like 1,200 football fields. But I ain't gotta hear no yelling. I ain't gotta hear no back and forth. Ain't gotta deal with none of that. Like I said, man, I'm here, but I'm just waiting to see if it's gonna crash and burn. And I feel like things are gonna hit the fan and start throwing a lot of flashbacks back in my head, and they're probably gonna throw flashbacks back in her head, and she knows I'm gonna say something about it. So we'll see how life works out. But for you, I'm just letting you know what is going to happen. And it's not like this is planned. I'm just telling you exactly what's going to happen because I know how she's going to think.
Yeah, I know this.
And the people are going to act on it. Everyone's going to act on it too.
Yeah.
This is how these guys think, and it's not looking good. It's not like I haven't told them, but they're going to do it anyway. You want to know why? Because Piper said so. Why do you think I
Yeah.
defy her so much? Because she gives off flashbacks of fucking Yukiko. Now she's getting sloppy, so I guess we're gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this: probably grab some of your belongings and maybe a locker and go back to your apartment because Jinx is gonna definitely come back to that house looking for anything to bring back to Piper. So I definitely
Well,
play your
Jinx
hands
never
differently.
Jinx never had access to storages or anything like that. And if I
Yeah,
removed her from the
I
table,
don't. Oh, she's not in there no more.
no, yeah, we removed her.
Okay, good, good, good.
The only reason why she had access to that is because she wanted to get closer with Sandy. So, funny enough.
Yeah, that's probably not the smartest thing. Oh fuck!
I mean,
Water,
you did
water.
hear you did hear how Jinx felt about Sandy, right?
Dude, everyone flipped the script on Zandy, bro. Like, I don't even know why we're trying to talk about this right now. I was there, dude. I literally walked in there and they completely switched hands on her. Apparently, they switched hands on her when you got beat to shit and you were on the ground. Oh yeah, that whole conversation of her yelling and shit. Yeah, they flipped the script on everything about Zandy. Oh, you don't know what they said. Oh no, you have a med kit.
Yeah.
I'm parched. No! Did you give me alcohol? Are you crazy?
Yeah, it's great. You need more water or something?
Uh,
There you go.
I don't think I've been to the hospital in a week.
That's some great food over there.
Yeah, I bought up the whole store in Sandy, and somehow I ate all of it. Oh my god. Okay. Oh yeah, they flipped the script. So, like when this all happened, you were on the ground. They're like, "Oh, you were right about Zandy. You were right about Zandy. I can't believe this actually happened. You were right about Zandy." After you had already killed her and she rolled off in the cliff and you already got beat up. This is what all of them said this. It completely blew my fucking mind what I just heard. I was like, were you guys the ones that wanted her here originally with Nico? But she does this and you didn't talk to her. You shot her because it was already too late. Yeah, nah, I don't know. That shit ain't adding up, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know if I can stay in a group that is was starting to see more and more just run in a somewhat of a single leader slash dictator that everybody kisses up to.
Yeah, that shit's been a dictatorship from day one. I just people just haven't wanted, don't want to say it. Every time that someone in high command says something, Piper has to be someone involved in it. And it's very fucking weird. And it's like, why? What's they've said like multiple times? Why? What's the point of a high command if you're just gonna overrule anything that's
Yeah.
said? It's like, yeah, you know what? You guys didn't want to act on that. You didn't act on it like 3 different times, but hey.
So
But
yeah, I
what
mean
do
that's
I
it.
know, man? What do I know, man?
Yeah. So when I say it's such a bad idea to wanna distance yourself from all of that.
Not really. No. Oh my god. Not really. No. But at the same time, the repercussions of these actions of what you do, you should just know what Piper is going to end up trying to do. Any point in time and opportunity, they're going to try to come after you. It's already been shown multiple times.
The same group that's lost every single gunfight.
Oh yeah, that's her own prerogative right there. Yeah, they don't. They rush themselves way too.
I have a dream, or I remember this is my ego talking. I wish I was good enough and that I was able to pull it off. If I can 1v5 them, I would just be able to rub that in their face so much.
Anything's possible, man. I mean, Peanut did it.
See, I know, right? It
He
was
also had a
1v3,
PD
but
rifle
still.
too, but
Yeah.
still.
Wasn't it a PD gun?
Yeah, still hit like a truck.
Yeah.
No one didn't have any armor, so that shit was like a free lick for anybody.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I'm looking for something more peaceful, more friendly to myself.
It's definitely not a gang. I'll tell you that right.
Yeah.
I can tell who's gonna last in a gang and who's not. So you, my friend, are not built to last in a gang. You're built to last in more of an organized crime. There's differences to it. We are not organized crime. I'll tell you that right now. None of that shit's organized at all.
Yeah. We're more of a ragtag group of criminals that just follow the orders of a single person.
I haven't followed Piper's orders ever since I got here. I just acknowledge it. Especially when she tries to threaten people every single chance she gets. I'm like, I'm not afraid of any of your threats at all.
Yeah.
As long as she's got a weapon in her hand, she's powerful. But as soon as that weapon's out of there, and everything gets exposed very quickly. But I'll let you sit on it, let you think about it. Just know, whenever that time comes, I unfortunately have to be there, but at least you'll be more prepared for it if it does go that way. Or you can go into hiding. Yeah, that is a possibility. You know, you can do that. It's more of a hunt than anything. But I mean, if you can disguise yourself and be off the grid, if we try to get you that fancy house you want up in Polito, you might be good.
Nah, think I've resolved myself to face first. Whatever happens, and if I die in the process, then so be it.
Uh, Only that is respect. But I will say, I'm gonna have to. I'm definitely probably gonna have to call Juan about this. The fuck?
It's a rock, man. It's a rock. Yeah, go for the
That
rocks.
rock was never there. Maybe some. Maybe this got to you. Maybe it didn't. So I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Thanks for the time,
don't worry
Smokey.
about me telling any of this to anybody because I have a fucking brain. You're all good, boss.
All right.
See you around,
Have a good
buddy.
day. Let me call Trey. Let's see what Trey would tell Nico.
That's wonderful. I just wanted what's best for our community. Sure, I appreciate the respect. I'm just a helper, not at all.
Is he even gonna answer?
Just make sure they spell my name
Nope.
right, okay?
Guess not.
My lawyer will call you later. Don't take the parkway to Richmond, B. I see traffic on that at 4 a.m.
Your life?
Okay, well,
Yeah.
then I'll just get like
Wait for now.
3 burgers,
3 burgers, bet.
however much bottled water I can get.
7 bottled water, dude.
Alright, give me like 4.
I bet.
Thank you.
That was 3, and okay, let's do. All right, let me do the 5 stack for you, and then I'll give you like 10 fucking burgers and then the water.
Okay, bet.
Does that sound fair to you?
That's good to me.
All right, there we go. There you go. It's on the plate. Not a problem. Sorry about that, dude. Thanks for understanding.
All good, all good. Hope
Figure the fuck out. Yeah, dude.
yeah.
It's so bad. Have a great one, dude.
Alright.
Dude, I'm panicking.
You work in a burger shop?
I am. I'm trying. Can't fucking see the stupid thing to get the stupid ingredients, dude. Oh my god.
West side of
Ula! Grab the orange slices out. I can't do it.
All right. Well, sounds like you're busy. I'll hit you up later then. Um. Okay. So I think right now, there's nothing much I can do for Nico. So Trey's gonna answer.
No,
Hey yo, what's up?
not much. Chilling. About to go throw some money at more. What's up?
Oh yeah. Bet.
Yeah.
I had a missed call from you for like 8 hours ago.
Oh yeah. I was just checking in on you. Zandy and Juan told me that you were in ICU and shit. I'm just tapping in. Make sure you died.
Yeah.
You good?
Uh. For now, I think.
Okay. Uh, it's no. If you need me, I'm here, man. Me and Juan already talked about it, man. Like that was some fuck shit. So we're I'm whatever you on, Juan on, I'm on type shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I already told you, you know how I feel about Piper already. I think she has a mouth on her. I don't like that shit. For a bitch.
No, if I think I've realized that I thought I was part of a family, but more recently, it's definitely started to look
Not
more
feeling
like
that
a
way.
dictatorship.
Yeah. I
Everybody's
feel
just kissing ass too, more or
you.
less.
Yep. Yep.
So next time I
Find a new home or
what you mean
decide what
smoke
the
is off
fuck you
limit,
gonna
bro?
do next.
What you mean smoke is off limits? Um, I think
The truth be told, honestly, bro, you know I fuck with you. I fuck with Zandy, but this is all Zandy's fault, gang. I ain't gonna cap, bro. And there's no way. I told her straight up that she was wrong for choosing a cop over a gang. I told her that already.
nah.
So that's that in a sense. Yeah, you went to you got, and the thing is, like she told me how the whole gang basically went to bat for her over like her becoming a hang around and shit, and
Yeah,
fucking she basically spit in your face. And I told her that. I told her straight up. I
that's
was
what
like,
I
that's like a
said.
spit in the face. That's what I'm saying. It's like for me, I already told her that. Ever since I had that conversation, I haven't really been around her, bro. I ain't gonna cap because who's to say what she would do next? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's janky as fuck.
yeah. Trey is somebody we know
But
from
I'm saying be
that big
careful
store
with
with
her,
that point.
game because she is fucking with a cop apparently.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, I tried really hard. Told her what's gonna happen if she stay with this guy, and she made her choice, right?
But
And choices have consequences for not just yourself but other people around you. So now I'm
yep,
missing my big toe from my right feet. You know what
damn,
that is? You know what that feels like? I can only count to 19 now.
fuck, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's my favorite one too.
Uh, why? What happened?
uh,
Oh,
basically,
we can go busk. No,
huh?
yeah, we can go busk. Um, what you? Hold on. Let me make sure the door's locked. What did you say?
Basically, long story short, um, I, after everything came to light that she was dating this cop, right? uh, I brought her forward, all that stuff. Everybody more or less just turned against her. Uh, and then I was given the order to be the one that stabs her, or actually to shoot her. I decided to stab her first, and then Mag dubbed the was there.
Yeah.
And once Piper woke up later that day, basically right after we kind of regrouped, it
Okay.
uh
Okay.
it turned into a you should have said this the second you find out, not withhold the disinformation. And I got beat up with a with a freaking hammer to the point that I was in ICU for almost a full day.
Oh, okay. Well, you gonna be around for a little bit? I'm at the bus
Uh,
real quick.
yeah,
I'm gonna have to call you back.
yeah, you good.
All right.
Yep. It do be what it do be. I make sure if we do get into a gunfight, I'm gonna make sure I headshot Smokey first. Hello.
Yo. So I am panicking, not be able to do it. So I'm just gonna dip.
Wouldn't that put you in a bad light with your management over there?
I can't get the thing and stuff. I don't think so.
Fair enough. What the heck is that?
And I've already taken
No,
like
bro.
2
So
naps,
she
so
didn't
I don't know.
realize, from her perspective, she only saw Nico stab her, and she didn't see him shooting her multiple times. Kind of like glitch in the body on her side. Her body just like rolled off the side of the cliff.
I'll try
So
again
she didn't really do like an
later.
ICU for
Ultimately,
it
I
as
just
of yet.
wanted to not make Jinx look bad for hiring somebody who hadn't fucking worked in or gotten trained within like
Jinx, I saying
2
like
days.
blue hair Jinx or
No, definitely not fucking GT
okay,
Jinx.
okay.
A clown.
Is there a difference?
Ew.
Nothing against Jinx, but I'm pretty sure she used to be a clown.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, no, you're right. Actually,
Her sister was Tabby the clown.
that's
They had
true.
a dog. His name was Derek. Just
Oh,
don't
shit.
tell them that it was actually a deer. It was definitely a dog named Derek.
What do you want to get into? Have you been able to figure out the things and stuff?
Um, apparently I wasn't actually. I thought I was under the impression that they ended up considering that bleeding out. Basically, whenever you and I were talking at Mirror Park, uh, Jimmy had sent me a text saying, "Hey, I saw you with Sandy," and I guess when I was in SU, they had sent a message saying not to talk with Sandy. She's basically excommunicado, right? So I put two and two together. I
dude,
was like,
that's fucking.
I put two and two together and figured that that meant that I was fully out at that point. Um, especially whenever later on I found out that I got kicked from the org on the tablet, right? But had a talk with Smokey finally, and
And yeah, what he's have to say. Honestly, he's the only one that like.
HR Smokey, yeah,
Just
he should
because I
honestly
feel
just
like
be
he's
HR.
been so fucking. Yeah, he is 100%.
Yeah.
Sadly, not like super uber duper. Yeah, where you at?
I sent you a thing you saw it.
Thanks.
Um, I think right now I've been bumped down to be hang around status.
That's fucking
As a
crazy. What?
punishment or a secondary punishment.
Secondary fucking punishment, dude?
Seems like if all I remember from that night is that before Piper beat me down, she said that I was gonna be put on bitch work and just do everybody's breaking or her breaking call and just do whatever she wanted me to do. And if I said no to
Dude,
any of that,
everybody's there
I would have
anyway.
been
Honestly,
yeah.
let's be fucking honest for a minute, you know?
You want to see my new technology?
I do.
I call it the fire stick.
That's actually fucking wonderful. Oh my god. That's
It's whenever I go like salsa time and do a this like salsa time fireball.
fireball. Fucking love it, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But like, so what did like? Alright, I'm secretly dying of dehydration. But
Were
can
you
you
not
tell
just
me
working
what?
out of Burger Shot and you didn't get food?
Let me. I literally only have water bottles.
I
Oh my
give you
god.
something. I mean, yeah.
Oh my
Again,
god.
like I said, right? I don't think there's a way
But what
for
did
Nico to stay
what did Smokey say?
following Piper with the way Piper was running GT. Uh, it seems like he was against it the way everything got handled.
Yeah, there's no way. He's pro this. Like, this is actually fucking. I'm sorry. Let me just find my center real quick. I'm frustrated from not being able to fucking get the stupid sliced fucking fruit.
That's a skill issue.
Dude, it is.
I mean, yes, she definitely shouldn't have picked a cop over all these people that stood for her. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody stood up for her, and she still chose this other random person. And Nico's been telling her that since the beginning. So it's why he felt betrayed since the beginning. Whenever it first happened, but everything kind of just got like pushed to the side because of Piper's beatdown, more or less. Because if that hadn't happened, if Nico hadn't gotten beat up with a hammer, and because it took like multiple strikes, and then I rolled a 9 for severity, plus it was like multiple things that happened. If not for that, if it was something that was like clean cut, you know, shot or stabbed or something else, something faster, that wasn't because I mean, basically just got like beat up like a dog on the side on the GT block. Left there. 'Cause if that hadn't happened, if I had been more clean, more fast, more quick with it,
All right, I think
he wouldn't be in his current predicament.
this is a wonderful fucking sunset. But I'm honestly, I'd be concerned if Smokey didn't vocalize some sort of not happy with.
I mean, you're still in the wrong with the way,
Yeah.
what your choice is.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Basically, I mean, I spoke to Ray earlier and he mentioned that he said the same thing that I've said to you, that you basically just spit it back on our faces from with your choice.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna.
It is what it is at this point.
I'm not gonna be.
It's just the way that it was done wasn't the most graceful, perhaps.
No, it definitely wasn't fucking graceful. There was nothing about this that was actually gonna be graceful, let's be honest.
Yeah. Again, she's not looking for a gang life. She's looking for a
Like,
community.
there's no way that this actually.
What Sandy wants is to
Like,
go.
even
it's
if
kind of
I
it's the
had
same
baited him
mentality
there
Nico
and things and
has.
stuff,
They just both
the
just
fucking
wanna
sourpuss mentality would still fucking be there. There's a reason
do
why
dumb stuff and go
you're
rob banks. That's it.
getting multiple fucking
Which is why they match well. They match so well together.
reprimands
They're
when
basically two.
it should just
they're
be one
both a wing of the same bird, more or less.
maximum.
A gang with
And like
with a core
ultimately,
name
yeah,
behind it.
I don't fuck with the leadership of GT, honestly. Like, to put it fucking black and white, like
You
Alex said that he was gonna fucking try
gotta
to
say
help make
that
this be better.
you gotta change your phrase in there. Not leadership, leader. GT only has one leader. Everybody else is just
Nah,
following
dude.
orders.
No, 100% for sure.
There is
But I
no
mean,
high
there is
command.
still high commands. There's still
Uh,
Alex and Caden. And like, honestly, like,
is there a high command if they are in
if they
given a
literally get
choice?
no say, 100%. I agree with that. But I mean, they need to take their role. They need to take their label. If they don't take it, that's why she's tyrannical.
They've tried and it always backfires on them. It always becomes worse.
Yeah, and that's not healthy. So like, I don't fuck with the leadership. I need leaders who, or a leader who knows how to fucking lead a leader. I make a good follower because I can lead and don't want to. I don't have the time, energy, mental bandwidth for that. No. And I'm not entirely sure that like she understands like that she is hurting her crew by not giving the leadership the responsibilities that she needs them to have as well as they need to have. But I'll say like when like Alex was trying to flirt with me, he was saying that he would help the acclimation process. And that absolutely did not happen. 100 fucking percent. Like, I feel significantly more free and I've done a shit ton of more crime.
Yep.
With people who are just as fucking, if not nicer, about like, fucking shit up, the learning process of the things and stuff. Like, putting fail safes in place to make sure that I'll be able to fucking get the fucking shot that I need. Like, GT is definitely not a family. Like, don't get me wrong, like, Piper, Caden, and Alex, they are family. I don't know who else is adopted and stuff like that, but yeah, there's the family of GT, but it's certainly not the entirety of it.
What you mean? Smoking. I'm going with the cop. Was this GT?
So I just got to say, fucking thank you for telling Alex when you did, because it kind of being catalyzed or whatever the fuck
I mean, shit
is
did.
secretly
Kinda like
exactly what I
said,
needed.
right?
I was gonna try
She
to
agreed, right?
communicate, understand, see if there was like literally anything. And yeah, ultimately that didn't even need to happen, because as soon as the feels were there, that's when those who vouched for me dropped me.
Yep.
And I
Not
can't
wrong.
even control my feels, dude. If I could, I fucking would.
She wasn't gonna be with GT regardless. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. I know
But
that go ahead, go ahead.
essentially everything that GT had told me is not true.
What their views towards yourself?
Their views about the group, um, how it is. Like, the reason why I continued to consider it was actually, like, even having heard everything that I had heard about Piper, um, was the meeting that I don't even know if you were there, but it was whenever y'all were deciding whether or not y'all were going to be going to war with CG, like the very first time. Like, I don't even think Piper was back from vacation yet. And Caden was getting like the lowdown from everybody, and they said, like, yeah, everybody gets a fucking say. And that is the furthest thing from the fucking truth
Yeah.
on how GT is ran. And then the family, and then the fucking like to get into heists and things and stuff. Like, I truly feel like the only reason JSTORs even started getting like really brought up was because you and I fucking did that fucking JSTOR that had
Yeah.
Alex in it.
I
Honestly.
think GT was a family and people had a
I was just a
choice
fucking military.
at one point. And I think GT runs, and everybody knows this, I'm pretty sure. Everybody that's involved in GT, the group runs like a well-oiled machine whenever Piper is not around. That's just my opinion.
And that's definitely not how a sustainable group is.
Am I wrong to say that, Firvino?
If the leader comes around, it should
GT
be
is
more
at its best
lubricated.
when Piper isn't around. Is that fair to say? I think so. For the most part. Yeah. Sure. Why else do you think anybody's poor and doesn't have any money?
Dude, and then as soon as meth started being cooked, I don't even fucking understand. Like,
You know what's funny with that? Dante sweated, spent so much time cooking day in, day out. He pushed out like 1,000 bags of meth. We never saw a single drop of that. All of that got given to in part of a deal with some other group. I don't even know what they would got out of it, but it was I don't think it was worth it.
no, I'm sure it fucking wasn't worth it because
Yeah,
I don't think they understand how things and stuff could work, nor the fact that you need to fucking get back to your own group. Let me answer this real quick.
yeah, you
Hey, dude. So,
yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's why I'm like I love everybody in GT. Don't get me wrong. OC and IC, you know. It's just I don't OOC. I just don't want to deal with it anymore, for the most part. I don't want to deal with like gang politics and dealing with not stepping on nobody's toes and watching my words and all that stuff. If anything, Nico's just gonna be solo dolo for a bit. Technically, if I really wanted to, he can join. So Nico, if I want to go that route, she'll probably happen at some point, just not now. Yeah. Uh, I think Nico can join either Forsaken or he can join the Hooligans. Cause he's got connections in both of them. And Forsaken is basically like affiliated with GT. Or not, sorry, not GT, CG. Season. Yeah. Oh look, it's the clowns. Bro, there's so many here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jesus. Ay. Also, if Nico is now a hang arounds can just be let go, right? There's no need to let him out. He said hang around, right? More or less. I mean, he spilled blood. He got bumped down to a hang around. No, he used to be like, all right, take my mask. Let me be free. But the issue is, hang arounds aren't treated like that in GT. Every single hang around recently that has been let go, they get let go by blood. They don't get just let go how they should be. I'm gonna be like, hey, Smokey, take my mask. I will let you be the messenger. You tell Piper. I'll let you deal with that. Let me grab my. The only downside of all this, I haven't been able to get my dailies done. I've missed out on what, like 10K, I think, or so, 10, 15K maybe. All good.
All good. Just between us, I kind of like know some things and stuff, and people deserve to know if they're like in business with poopy pants versus like an absolute fucking gentleman, you know? Ooh!
I don't know.
I got something for you. I think I know why.
Hmm.
Uh,
Ooh. Yum yum yum
also, I think it's kind of like, I don't know. I'm just a fucking ridiculousness, but I think it's a little bit super tacky in a gang that just started producing drugs. Like from my perspective, right? Y'all started making drugs. One day I hear Piper saying like she's gonna go sling, and she could sell so many bags so fast, blah blah blah. And then next thing I know, or next thing I see is that like they both have like new cars. So to me, I already also had a red flag of like,
Mhm.
is this just leadership taking advantage of
I don't know anything
the
about that. So.
situation? Because
I
you
think she
know,
already had that car before then.
yeah, okay. I mean, you say I think, so I'm not gonna give her the benefit of the doubt, honestly. Not gonna lie, I'm not at that point, nor do I think I'll ever be at that point with her.
Right. Well, I. I think at this point, I can't follow in the footsteps I was the path I was heading anymore. Uh, Piper is just not a leader I can get behind.
Yeah, I feel that.
Still love everybody and appreciate anybody in GT, even Piper. Just got her good moments sometimes, but I think I might have just made a rush choice of finding the first place that would take me in, and I think now it's finally come to realize that this is exactly
You
what I'm
deserve
looking
fucking
for.
better. You deserve an actual fucking family.
I don't know if there's any place for me.
I mean, there's definitely a place on forum for you. Definitely a home there. But dude, I'm meeting a lot of people. I'm gonna continue to meet people. I fucking fuck with the hooligans, dude. Honestly, ah, dude,
Yeah, I saw
like,
I saw
they're
that
so nice.
that definitely most definitely was not you guys as Robin the Flica last night.
Definitely not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I definitely don't have a tiger statue now for the house.
Mm-hmm.
It's so nice, dude. Like, they were like, "This was your first payday. You get the tiger."
Nice.
So nice. So fucking nice. And like all I had to do, so like I hadn't been talking to Shay like long at all. That's the lady with the blue hair.
Yeah, the one that got me drunk once you guys left.
Nice. Good, good. That's about right.
Yeah, she was already drunk, so might as well make it two.
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. But like I wanted to know like because don't get me wrong, like I understand like why you're fraternizing with the enemy. Uh, you know, when you're not in cuffs, trying to make your sentence a little bit lighter. You know what I mean? But but I wanted to know if there were like any gangs, like where they like stood with it, and whenever y'all were chatting at the block, I just, I wanted to fucking know. So I had sent her a text saying, "Ayo, I need to conduct a survey if you don't mind." So then
Oh,
she
that's
called
how that
me and I
happened. Huh?
asked, and she's like, "Of course we don't fucking like it, but we currently have somebody with a relationship with a cop and somebody who's had an ex relationship with a cop already in the group, and so like we understand he can't control the feels."
Interesting.
And like, I don't know. That just kind of gave me hope that like, yeah, like if this GT thing falls out, then boom, there's the time I need to let this relationship die organically. Um if not, then it proves that, they're down to be there for me after things and stuff. Um you know, they get to say I told you so, but like, let's be honest. Like, Piper knew I wasn't going to be able to self-advocate. She was already ready to be like, you did not self-advocate for yourself over the course of 2 weeks. Blah, 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 blah. You're not GT material. Like, honestly. I have no reason not to think that's the case. I think I self-advocated once
Yeah.
and then
I
called
mean,
to do it
I've
again
I've
like
always
2
known
days
that
later,
she's always had the mentality
and
that she wasn't gonna make it in
then
GT.
she didn't answer, so
I've known this.
I don't know. Just
I've
not
known
good
this.
at that
Nico has
shit,
known
dude.
this. He's never really, didn't want to see it, basically. Yeah, I mean, Kaden did say that he really wanted to have you in part of the group. Everybody was really seeing how you were,
But it doesn't
showing
matter
more
what everybody
face.
else thinks.
And that's where the contradiction comes in. The wrecking ball, if you say, if you might.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. What are you getting into today, Sandy?
Probably gonna go do a construction. Hopefully gonna get into some houses with you. Maybe actually get some cases, which I haven't fucking got in a long fucking time. I know as soon as I hit up John and Shay, I'm getting into jobs, but I'm not gonna lie, dude, I'm cooked. Like, I'm already cooked. I think I'm running off of like 4.
Jesus.
Yeah. And like, dude, the fucking PDM job
They already done a
is
PDM? God damn it.
kind of actually hard, dude. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. There's a lot of steps. I actually forgot to debrief. I'm really actually excited to help hooligans with kind of like SOPs for them. They clearly have the jobs down. But minus jewelry, ironically enough. But but everything else, like the job itself they got, but like, you know, debriefing like after was non-existent. The like explaining the fucking job beforehand, non-existent. Like in the job they're actually really good at explaining it, but PDM is like a fucking beast, dude. Like one of the fucking things, I don't even know what fucking happened. And all it was like 3 letters, and I think comparing it to the original ones, dude, I don't even fucking know.
I think a PDM at the end you have to the last part you steal a car and you have to drive it out and get it away. But if you damage it too much, it affects your how well you did on the job at the end. The bot reviews your stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. But that is where the GPS modules are used. I definitely
Yeah.
burned through like 3 of them.
Nice.
And that was on one of the like 4 hacks for it. Like, fuck me, dude. I'm so glad they did the prior 4. And it's so weird. There's like essentially kind of like a Pong game, which you just outlast the computer. It's easy peasy. Don't over fucking think it like I did. Then the tubes, there was tubes. It was pretty fast. I actually didn't get to finish the tubes. But I only got it once. There's some weird ball
Oh yeah.
that I think you have to follow with
I
your
think
finger.
there's a I feel like
And then
me
one where you
just
have
like
to do the pairs of numbers. But like,
dig
dude,
down.
I don't know.
I
I was
haven't like
cooked. I did not do good on my second
invested
time. I
a
did much
lot
better on my
into
first time.
GT.
Actually, tried a different method. I got it 3 times.
I don't know.
First time I
Maybe
did my
just because of
best.
the way
Second
it's
time,
been
absolutely fucking
going or
horrible. I was
something.
trying to one by one it. Not a good call for me personally. Maybe for somebody else. Then I just did pretty bad the third time.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Fair
then there's
enough.
like a
Uh-huh.
jumpy bird situation or flap or
Like
like
a Flappy Bird or something.
yeah, where you like go through walls and shit like that,
Hmm.
which I am apparently bad at. I didn't
Okay,
expect
fair.
that. Yeah.
Fair enough, fair enough.
But you know, it's all about practice and getting
Yeah.
shots.
Practice does make perfect, so. Did you ever get to talk to Smokey that day?
No, I never did. I wish I did. Honestly, dude, I don't know why. I vibed with Smokey and Dante like honestly almost immediately.
Yeah.
They're definitely the ones that I'm gonna miss the most. And I think I just spared Jinx from getting
Yeah.
a broken heart, honestly.
All right. I need to do something to get my mind off things for now.
Nice. Construction? Into houses?
Anything, honestly.
Nice.
I need to get changed though.
Work outfit.
Say. uh, we have this.
I actually need a blackout.
Mm. See, I'm listening feet. this Lester. I think I might just do. Something. Actually, let me do. Uh, yeah. Water. Yeah. So I mean, if you're doing all these jobs, right, that means you have enough money to pay off your rent.
I need to fucking wash money, actually. I need to throw.
The uh the loan's paid off now.
Yeah, dude. I was kind of terrified you were like,
Which I think I can see the remaining amount. But let's see here. 4573. So sent you a message. That's the 3 payments that you still haven't that I already paid 3 weeks, right? So to finish it. And that's your cut. That's the half you gotta pay, which is a total of 91.55, 9,155.
9155 bit.
Yeah. And then since I don't have a proper loan anymore, that means that my credit score went back down for a little bit. It goes at like 680. It's down to 656 now. You stay in here, buddy? Okay. Got a question for you. Good.
Mhm.
Weren't you changing to like a blackout or something? Do you save
I
it in your
mean,
wardrobe?
yeah, I just saved it.
Okay, bet. uh, do we have anybody that can hustle?
That is a good question. I don't think so.
Just stop by Strawberry. I want to check my
Okay.
calendar. I think I might have a bunch of stuff there to sell. Possibly.
Ooh, I know my surfer definitely does. Wait.
Yeah. And
Is
Trey's
Trey up?
around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Last I
Nice.
heard from him, he was busking or going to busk.
Where is the busking happening?
I mean, that was like an hour or two ago, so
Oh, okay, bet.
yeah. Yeah, it was before I ended up. He hung up right after you call, right before you called me, basically.
Okay, bet.
Yeah. Strawberry
Oh,
Garage.
yeah. Whew.
Let me see. Yep, I got a bunch of stuff in here. All right, bet.
Yeah, a little construction, then some houses, and
Do you wanna bring your, go grab your truck after we sign in then?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like,
Look, it's picking up. That's Trey. What's up, Trey?
Yo, do you have any hardwood? Hardwood?
Uh, possibly. Why?
I need 10.
Yes. Give me a second. Do you wanna?
I'm kind of in the middle or something. Are you gonna be up for a minute?
Yeah, I'll be around for I don't know, 5 more hours or so.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna hit you in a little bit. Just make sure you don't sell 10 of it. I need it.
Yeah, I got you.
I bet.
Later. We still have hardwood at the apartment, right?
more than likely. Wait, is
Okay.
hard white or is it that kind of warm
White.
color? It might be.
I think so. I
It
think
might
we
not be.
dropped off like 20 or something that were extra, 25 maybe.
Ooh, no, yeah. You're right.
Trey
Is he
wants.
trying to do a PDM?
I don't know. He just said he needs 10 in a bit. Not right now. But we can check real quick.
Feels like a PDM.
I mean, I didn't hear you need that wood to do a PDM. So
I think so. I mean, I don't remember which wood, but
I know that you need some sort of wood